Well, hello there, motherfuckers, and guys. Can we talk about that Smackdown commercial that's, advertising, Smackdown on Fox? You see any problems with that commercial? I watched the commercial. I saw things. And some of those things are not true. We start off in a restaurant. Very reminiscent to the very cringy, WWE 2K20 trailer that we saw. Stone Cold Steve Austin is sitting at the table. Then they show a representation of John Cena as the doctor is doing this, and they show a clip of John Cena. Then they show a clip of The Undertaker from the year 2004. And then what they do is they show The Rock on there. The Rock. And also Ric Flair. Do you see why this is all a problem? None of those guys are even there. They're not on the active roster. The Rock even admitted about a month ago that he silently retired from the WWE. He's not coming back. Don't you see he hasn't been around in a few years? The last time was at that WrestleMania with Bray Wyatt that barely anybody even remembers. He's not coming back. Stone Cold Steve Austin shows up. Once every couple of years. He was just there about a month ago for the for that very random Night of Legends that they had, the Raw reunion show. Ric Flair's barely there anymore. I mean, the guy keeps getting sick. It's no knock against him, but he's not there. It's not fair to represent him. Also, The Undertaker. The guy is, he's not retired. He keeps coming back. I get it, but, if they're not in Saudi Arabia, The Undertaker is not going to be performing. He didn't even perform at this year's WrestleMania. So, you see what I mean? There's kind of a lie going on here. Hey, I haven't watched the WWEs in years. Oh, wow, I remember all these guys. Hey, shouldn't they be a lot older? Well, anyway, I'm going to check it out and see how it is. And they're going to be sorely disappointed when they turn into the show and the first thing they hear is, "Hey guys, we're going to burn it down here on Smackdown." I mean, like, what? Okay, they did show cringy Lynch, so they were being a little bit honest there. But, they show her doing this. So you're kind of like, okay, she looks like an attractive girl. She's probably something. But then when they tune into the show, I guarantee when they get a load of her, that's going to be the last time that they tune in at all. I mean, like, I'm not saying that this was a bad commercial. Like, okay, it did harken back to some old things, that WWE used to do. It's funny, the real life parallel, the doctors doing the "You Can't See Me," acting like John Cena. There was a few, like, little cute moments in there. But WWE is just flat out dishonest. And, I get it. Fox is probably not opposed to this because, hey, whatever it takes to get eyes on the product. There's only one problem there, Fox. They are not very good at getting eyes on the product. So, and this is the other thing. You could, do the old bait and switch. It's a classic tactic. But the thing is, if you're going to bait and switch people, then the switch better be as good as the bait. And I'll tell you something, this is certainly not a good switch at all. Horrible! I mean, what are you going to show? You're going to show people Ricochet? I mean, honestly, the club, you know, or, oh no, they're not calling the club anymore. What is that? Oh, the OC. You know, the original club. Excuse me. You know, so it's like, that's what you're getting. You're not getting Stone Cold. You're not getting The Rock. Last I heard, I mean, it'd be different if they were advertising The Rock and he actually showed up on the first episode. Maybe I'm going to look like a complete moron, and maybe The Rock is going to show up on the first episode. Maybe they're keeping it under wraps. They have done that before. Remember when The Rock randomly showed up on an episode of Raw out of nowhere? I mean, that was quite foolish of them because, like, I remember they got like a 2.9 out of that, so it wasn't even good. Well, they're way below that. But The Rock is not going to be on this episode of SmackDown. I'm going to tell you that right now. If he does show up, and I do end up looking like an incorrect moron, feel free to flame me to hell in the comments below. But I guarantee you, there ain't going to be no Rock. There ain't going to be no Stone Cold. There ain't going to be no Ric Flair. And that's fine by me. Because, you know what I'm saying? I don't care. Because I'm not going to watch it. I don't know. You know what? I don't know. I'm going to think about if I should view, you know, a great majority of the highlights. You know, do what I did on Raw. You know, like watch it on YouTube. And, you know, fast, you know, and kind of do that expedited review process that I was doing right before I called it quits. I might do that for SmackDown, since it is a pretty monumental SmackDown. And I did promise that I would review, you know, big shows and stuff like that. But I didn't review SummerSlam. That's a big show. So, you know, you kind of see that my interest is dwindling. But I can't help myself. I can't help myself, you know, when it comes to these types of things. And I'd rather that they be honest. Come right out there in the open and show people what your show's really like. Don't, you know, put, like, Ric Flair out there on the first episode and The Undertaker. No, no, no. Show them what you really are going to do. Put Ricochet versus AJ Styles. Do your Samoa Joes versus... I don't know, Samoa Joe versus who's he wrestling nowadays? Whoever. You know, do Kevin Owens versus Samoa Joe. Do something like that people are just going to, like, look at it and they're going to wince. They're going to be like, what happened to SmackDown? I remember watching that on UPN back in 1999. I remember watching SmackDown back in the year 2000. You know, people are going to get those memories back to them. And like I've said, guys, I talk to people all the time about it. You know, wrestling. Some of these people, most of the time, a lot of people said that they stopped watching wrestling in 2001. I still greatly enjoyed the product that year. But then a lot of people that I noticed, they say also they stopped watching around 2004. And you notice that's like when The Rock was kind of officially done. Mick Foley had been, you know, removed from the product. It was like all Evolution, all Triple H all the time. You know, so that kind of really shows you just how popular Triple H really is. You know, he wasn't really a good top guy all alone. You know, so I'm just saying that this commercial was misleading. It's misinterpreting the current product. People are going to watch this. They're probably going to get fooled. They're probably going to do very well because Fox is a major network. Fox has a lot of hit shows. And they might not be the top network. They're not the top network. But I can tell you this. They will rope people in. Because they're going to see that commercial. They're going to remember those classic characters. They're going to remember the good old days. And they might say, well, hey, it's been a while. Maybe since the last time I watched wrestling, maybe it's improved. There's probably some new guys in there. And maybe they're just as good as Stone Cold. Maybe they're as good as The Rock. They're not, but they're probably going to think that, and you know, justly so. If you haven't watched in a while, how would you know? You know, you wouldn't. So it makes perfect sense why you might try to give something that you haven't watched in probably 15, 16, 17 years a chance. So longer than that in some cases. You know, do you guys realize that Smackdown actually started 20 years ago? First of all, okay, so like, can I ask a question? Why are they not even celebrating their 20th anniversary of Smackdown on TV? Do you guys even notice that? Is the Fox thing supposed to be a celebration? Like, okay, but why don't they do a celebration while they're still on USA? Okay, it doesn't really make any sense. But anyway, guys, that's besides the point. So yeah, Fox, you know, they're not going to be edgier. The product is, I've heard rumors of it being rated TV 14. I've stated in the past that TV 14 is not the problem. You've had way edgier shows that were TV PG. I was just watching clips of it today. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. They pushed the envelope on a number of occasions. They got a little sexual. They had more than a few innuendos that didn't come off as corny and cheesy or kiddie. It was a show that the whole, you know, entire family could watch. And, you know, some parts they would have to cover their kids' eyes and everything. But, you know, it was good entertainment that, you know, was like, it was pretty normal to see things like that at this time. You know, so it's not a problem with TV 14. It's a problem with writing a show horribly. Horribly. Okay, so it's not going to be any different on Fox because, you know, they'll have the Fox executives, which are probably going to be a bit more on top of them. Because you see the difference is here, we're talking about network television. We're not talking about cable television. You know, USA is basic cable. So, you know, they're a little bit compared to Fox, which is going to be demanding things. You know, they've canceled a lot of shows. You know? Like, so I'm just very surprised. I understand that WWE is a big brand and everything like that. They got big merchandising numbers. But the thing is, does that really affect Fox? Because they're not going to be getting a lot of ratings out of them. So, I don't see it. That was acceptable on USA, you know, but Fox, I don't know what the point of this is, you know what I mean? It's going to do a lot worse than when they had the UFC. So anyway, guys, I don't know, but all I'm saying is that the commercial was very misleading. What they were showing was like, this is going to be the good old days of wrestling, but it ain't. So there you go, folks. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a thumbs up. Click the bell so you get all the notifications when I post all my new videos. And click subscribe, people. Click subscribe and go check out my review of the Popeyes chicken sandwich that I've posted on this channel. I think you'll enjoy it. You know, so go and do that. And guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.